Alright, so the stream's back. This stream is cursed. This is a cursed stream. Don't watch it. If you watch this stream, you'll die. I guarantee it. Yeah, my internet just went out for like a second for no reason. And it's one of those outages that I mentioned before, where it's not the internet that went out, just my computer. The internet goes out on just my computer sometimes, and I do not know why. Like, it's only my PC that has an issue. But, whatever, I don't know. There is... For a second I was like, wait, do I have game audio at all? I never actually checked. Anyway, I should just start before this gets any worse. But, you know, I mean, starting won't... Let's be honest, that won't help. Alright, speed of the reticle. I kind of wanted that one. Yeah. The trial can't top this big botched job of an intro. But whatever. I never said what we're playing, doesn't matter. You don't need to know. Let's do that. Or you do that. And then I won't.
Smiles, everyone! It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time.
Alright,
Because
that's
of
not...
Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
Disruptions? Excuse me?
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
A hole.
Shut
Told
up.
you.
I don't need to hear some comedy
Got him.
act from you two weirdos.
Who did it?
Alright, Himiko.
Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Was it you?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment.
Could have
There
been.
may be two killers.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
What?
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student.
Oh, okay.
Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Maybe they did.
Stop making stuff up!
Say something, Shuichi.
Wasn't this the thing that I said as a joke
What's going on?
that they then decided to entertain? We have to explain why it couldn't have been a dead person? Okay then.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates.
This doesn't seem much faster, this reticle.
So, ritual did work?
Who was resurrected, I wonder?
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes,
Oops.
Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Okay then.
Please, stop it!
Funny thing is, that wouldn't even make sense. About whether or not it worked.
This crime was
Actually, wait. Alright. Oh, they're just both on the same Monokuma
committed
file.
by the recently deceased.
Injury on the victim's forehead was not bleeding as much as it should. Alright then. The 4 wax effigies that were created, exact replicas hung upside down. Oh Okay. It's probably this. Preparing, burn it. Oh right, yeah. Well, if the thing's the book's still there, so it's not.
Killed 2 of our classmates!
I love zombie. What?
So, ritual.
There we go.
Wrong.
Oh, that I missed it just barely, I guess.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
Did she die due to carbon monoxide? But no. We already know that's not the case.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh,
I mean,
I guess you're right.
that was pretty unlikely.
Well, duh.
I'm glad we've gotten that out of the way at the start.
Resurrect.
Now hold on a second. I can't let that comment stand.
Why?
Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the
So,
Necronomicon.
You can't, but you can?
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
You just contradicted yourself.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Daddy said so, so he can't be
I don't know
wrong.
if that's okay. I'm not gonna. I can't.
Totally possible.
Man,
Not in a position to think about whether or not that statement is true.
Perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring
Not in the
Monodum back
mental
to life.
state.
Monodum is still alive, though.
The correct one.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Oh my god. You'll be the next one to die.
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
There's no way it's possible.
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is
What
trying
is-
to confuse us.
With Angie's...
Let's hurry up and find out who the
She doesn't even have an X over her face. She just has like...
If our transfer student
Looks
is
like a halo
culprit,
and
then
wings.
blame falls to one of us.
Who? Who did it? Step aside,
Maybe it was you.
Half-Pint. I'll handle this.
It was probably Himiko.
I don't know about
If she
Tenko.
pretends to be upset,
Pretty fucking sure Kyo
then you
murdered
really
Angie.
you wouldn't be able to tell
What? Why?
because of the
Don't
sword.
play dumb
Maybe
with me, creep show. I already know what happened.
I don't really have any reason to think that was the case.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was
Front door,
found in
back door.
Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
Is Swiggy's account? Oh right, I never even checked the evidence at the start. It's fine. Should not unlock the door unless someone's releasing a task to. Yeah, which it's probably.
So that
Well,
rusty
then.
katana was the murder weapon. You were the
Couldn't even
only
have
one
gotten
who cared
in.
about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm.
What
Went to the
even?
classroom, broke in,
Wait.
and murdered the fuck out of Angie. Booyah! I'm a fucking cheat!
I mean, where's door was locked. I mean,
Yes! The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious. But anyone could have taken that katana, you see. So that rusty katana was
I don't think the lockpicking is actually what I want.
Cared about that thing, Kyo.
But he did
I
not
did
break in.
care about some katana.
Just admit it. Shitty
Okay.
worm.
What was I doing? I don't know.
Went to the classroom, broke in.
He did not break in, probably.
That's wrong.
I wasn't actually sure which piece of evidence they wanted, but I knew
No, Kyo would
couldn't
not
have
be
done
able
that.
to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
There's also
If Kyo
no
was
sign
not
of
a
forced
member,
entry.
She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
You might have. We don't know.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Sure.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie.
Yeah, so it can't be. That's impossible.
I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Kokichi, what do you know?
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so
Kyo
readily?
allowed himself to be possessed and did the murder.
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
I don't think so. I think the dumb part is going to be
That
how
turns our list
it
of
happened.
suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people? 'Cause a robot ain't people, Jack.
No, what,
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't
Why
these
is
accusations
everyone-
just a tad too hasty?
why is
The
everyone
culprit should
like
confess already.
so
Gonta,
racist against
Kibo, or
Kibo?
Tsumugi? Well,
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
But not, yeah, Kibo could have done it though.
Definitely not hurt anyone.
It's funny that everyone just said it's just not.
Gonta might be a bit too
I
far,
can't remember her
but
name.
the
Why do I
Gonta
keep
not
forgetting
like
her
the
name?
culprits.
Himiko.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Well, let's do it then.
I'm
Gonta
not the
not
culprit.
Not the culprit.
I have no
We
idea.
must consider other
Gentlemen.
possibilities. Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
Oh.
that's
Oops.
utterly impossible.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Who,
Only
wait,
student
what?
council members had
Late
access.
at night.
Look, I don't know who the
That's
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots told such boring lies.
but it's definitely not
I
me.
can't.
Is that a robophobic remark?
Now I have things to actually do. I think Kibo
Surely
said
there must be
something.
suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
That's utterly impossible.
They're not
A
Kibo's.
dead chick
Not just
can't be the
Features.
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only student council members had access.
Oops.
Look, I don't
Well.
know who the
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots told such boring lies.
but it's definitely
I tried.
Not betray student council.
Jeez.
That's utterly impossible.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Oh, also.
Student council members had.
Oh, never mind.
I heard it!
He heard it. Maybe I didn't, but he did. No, I did too.
No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said?
I feel like
earlier about
Gonta's gonna end up
opening
actually being a
the
genius or something. He's been faking
Unless
being
you're
like
student
dumb this
council
entire
members, you
time.
can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I don't know.
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Saying it could have been him. There's not much else. There's not much more reason to suspect him other than that, though.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
There's also the issue of the
So you
door
waited
was
till you
locked.
don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it.
He's saying you
I
committed the
killed
murder?
Angie.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I want that to be true, but I don't believe him.
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie.
What is wrong with
The
you?
culprit was me, all along.
Are you trying to get us all killed?
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Well, now we know it's
So
yeah.
Kokichi really is culprit?
Now we know it's not him.
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe.
That'd be hilarious. I think
He's lying. I'm
I also called
No.
or would have
definitely not a lie.
also called that
I killed Angie.
one of the trials would end super early,
Shouldn't
but
you
no.
guys believe the culprit
won't
when
do
they
it.
confess?
Then let
Phoenix
me
Wright
ask you,
did it.
culprit.
Once,
How did you lock the
sort
lock?
of.
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
I don't think you can pick a lock to lock it.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method?
Well, they had to have gone out the back,
Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
but I don't know specifically what they did to lock it. Actually,
Uh, there were two doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was.
both doors. Yeah, no, the back door was.
That's it.
Why is it triangle to confirm? I have no idea.
The back door.
It doesn't really matter that much,
That's
but
how they made
it's
this
kind of
unlocked
annoying.
room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they just stayed in the room.
culprit used a certain tool.
Oh no. I don't know. Oh, okay, this. Yeah, just smash that shit. Is it the sickle? I don't think they use that. Oh, maybe it was a sickle then. That's the only thing that would make any sense to me, I feel like. Nope. Never mind. I guess they used the sword.
I see it.
don't know how they use the sword, how that would, but
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
they swing the effigy or
Because
something?
when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
But I'm not following.
Evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school.
I mean, I know that there was the gold, but like I don't understand
Are you talking about
what the
a
logic
different
behind
school?
that is.
What school was it?
Now, that
I think
doesn't
they
matter
jump too
anymore.
far ahead when
Let's
they can't
not
possibly
dwell on the
expect you to
past.
understand how this works.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So
They don't
that
need you to know
means the
now.
culprit used the katana to move the
Well, I feel like with
sliding
the
lock.
game like this, it makes sense to make sure the player is on the same page as the
How did they move it
characters,
with the
unless they
katana?
explicitly don't want you to be.
Outside
But that's not the
Andy's
case right now. Like with the first
clue
case, I
that
mean.
might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
I guess they swung it.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Get in that taxi. Get in the car, Shuichi. Let's go. Oh man. Oh right, acceleration is a thing. I haven't needed to use the focus thing once. Now there are other cars. Oh no. What something? I don't know. I'll look at it when it's completed. Because now I actually need to focus on the road. Oh, well, what? Turn the handle of the sliding lock. Never mind. No, I don't. Those things look a lot like Mario Kart item boxes, like suspiciously so. What was it? Katana's hilt. Don't we already know that, basically? Thought that was the point. I mean, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't... It might be a coincidence. I don't know, because it doesn't really make that much sense, actually. Given that it's a taxi and just picking up letters, I don't know. It's in a straight line. I don't know. It's not like it's just like a reference with no meaning. Said it needed to make sense. I did. I demand it. It was done to make the katana turn the lock. Katana stabbed an effigy, sliding lock was tampered with? I'm in. Are each of those squares a letter? Oh, jeez. I wonder what happens if you don't have... If you don't get all the letters. I wonder if it just, is effigy manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? Swung, I assume. I wonder if they just give you the question anyway? Or, like, have you try to answer it. Oh no! Spinning it? Wait, what? Did it fall? I just murdered that lady. Wait, how close? I don't understand. How close was that effigy to the door? Well, I was assuming the effigy was way too far away for that to work.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck
Even with the
katana
sword
in
stuck
effigy
into it.
was so that it would hit the
That
sliding
sword didn't
lock
look
with
nearly
the
long enough. I mean, I didn't get to explore the room, so I couldn't see exactly how close the door was to it.
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go,
I guess it was
the rope
closer
would
than it
unwind,
looked
and the
from the
effigy-
image. Hold on. I can... I don't, like, it's really difficult to judge the distance, but it doesn't look like it's nearly close enough from that image. But, I don't know.
would spin the other way.
It's impossible, that's how I think. I don't think that image is accurate. You're just supposed to assume it's close.
So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock.
And I guess you would have to swing it really, really accurately.
Classroom locked from the inside.
Yeah, I didn't get to explore the room in 3D, so...
Yes.
Or even
That's
see,
how
like, how
Reggie's
close the
lab
thing
is
was.
By
They
using
never showed the
effigies with a
distance.
katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
Yes.
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
Yes.
I didn't say that.
You did.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed.
Sword looks long. I don't know.
That possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Even still, like, I would need to remember what it looked like, but from the image that I had with me, I couldn't tell.
Cough it up, Kokichi!
And also just from my memory,
Meow.
which was 2 days ago.
You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
No, he's lying
I
again.
want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why would you want to say you're lying?
Why did you say you were the culprit?
Because he's bored and a
I
psychopath.
wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed
doesn't make any
to be
sense.
the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they
I think
pressured me to
most people would
confess,
agree that it was
then that
you.
would have looked mighty suspicious.
No one was actually all that shocked. It was just more shocked that he was
Darn it.
supposedly
It didn't go
admitting
my
it this
way
early.
because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Alright.
Okay, I'll start right now.
Please do not.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Mew, I can't hold it up anymore.
Please.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
I don't
Who made
even-
the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it.
Yeah,
I
don't even know.
Something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster.
Wow! Wow!
Finally! Someone finally
This.
called me a
What should we talk about now?
Please help, Gonta.
You must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
And
Don't forget
Himiko.
She's also a part of the student council.
Everyone's
Doesn't
just kind of
matter if she was besties with
assuming.
Angie, she's still a suspect.
Like, there's nothing that says she couldn't have done
That
it.
contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
Yeah, you were the one that said that.
That's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect?
Yes.
Never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next?
Like.
I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but can we talk about Tenko's case
I don't
now
think
and not
now's
just Angie?
time.
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
Does he think you're
Two
deflecting?
victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
I'm guessing they're the same killer,
Would
though.
you suggest that to waste our
It's
time?
not meaningless!
Because I'm sure Tenko's murder is going to be relevant in some way.
Tenko's
Other than
death was
just-
meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko!
I mean, it
How could
was.
you do this to her?
Probably.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead.
He's not wrong.
Really?
Kokichi, enough!
No.
Well, the issue with there being two murderers is that then
It's no surprise he
we'd either, like, there'd be no point in figuring that out unless that becomes relevant later on, basically.
I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tinko. Worked things out with her while she was
Because
still
either,
alive.
like, I don't know, we'd either figure out who it is, but then it'd be like, okay, well, it doesn't matter because they're going to stay here.
Poor thing, her.
So just at most, all it would amount to is we'd just be suspicious of them for the
Way too
next
late to
chapter or
realize
whatever.
that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Or it would have to be relevant to the plot later on or something.
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
I mean,
Kaito.
it didn't in multiple ways,
All right.
maybe.
I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tanko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is Death Curse. I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
It could, maybe,
Listen up.
maybe,
All
just a
you
little
guys are
bit.
gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run. I won't forgive something so messed up.
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I've already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on.
We're gonna. I'm guessing the evidence I revealed in Angie's
Finally, you
thing, it doesn't really matter,
So slow.
or won't matter for the next
Huh?
section.
Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe.
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Because if we were to determine who
Crotch
killed
probably
Tenko,
got
we'd
killed
assume it
during the
was.
seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Ten Crotch!
Rekio, Shuichi, Himeko, Kokichi. Yeah. Yes, that's correct, right? Right? Yeah.
That's it.
Felt weird,
It was Kyo,
choosing the
Himiko,
very
and
first
Kokichi.
option.
So those four are the culprits.
Oh, Himiko.
Imagine how difficult this would be if you've forgotten everyone's name.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely.
Did someone else
mine,
decide it would be in that room?
I was not the one who selected the room we performed in. It was Himiko.
Oh, we were there? Yeah, that doesn't make her look any less suspicious.
Oh, right.
Because that line also made no sense.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance.
Because actually, it's
The empty
seems
room
to be
had a
likely.
point of entry from outside, you see.
The hole in the wall underneath. Yeah, it actually seems maybe more likely. Wait, what are we? That?
There!
I mean, it was underneath, but
You're talking about under the floor, right?
just okay, just under the floor in general.
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor.
Oh
about
right, and there
6
was
feet
dried
through.
blood on the thing, which is like I don't know what the
There
deal
was
is with
also
that.
a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
Kaito?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Or Maki? Yeah, I mean, everyone. It wasn't pretty much everyone else outside of the room.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
Space on the floor, so you can see what was dropped there. Flying What else was there? I think it was a loose floorboard was one of them. It's not loose before the seance. Dried blood in the bottom part of the floorboard. What was the other one?
It was pitch black during the seance.
Oh,
How could they even see if they were
I don't
under
know.
the floor?
I'll figure it out.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Guess it was.
You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean that light that's like
Kibo's flashlight function.
that's absurdly bright that we would have
Now,
seen.
Hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor
No,
and sneak
we're
into
not.
the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
The culprit sneaked in during the
I mean, I don't think there's anything. Or actually, is that the one we want?
seance by crawling under the floor.
Because that one actually mentions it being dark.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
Function.
Function to get under the floor.
Oh no, that's not the one they want.
Damn it! The culprit sneaked in during the seance. By
Crawling under the floor. Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light. Light? You mean candle?
His voices are something.
Function to get under the floor.
No.
Damn it! The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see it under the floor? Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see,
Had a light.
Yes, I am. I didn't see the first thing he said. Oh no.
Oh no! The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
Wait, what?
But it was pitch black during the
We would have seen that.
seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain light.
Oh, wait.
I was wrong!
The culprit sneaked in during...
I mean, say oh wait as though I figured it out. Not really, but... Saying that we would have seen it through, maybe through the...
by crawling
Oh!
under the floor. Dark under the floor. Our villain had a light.
Okay, there we go.
Wrong!
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I was thinking the floorboards were like...
I don't
There was
think the
space
culprit
between all of them or
used
something, but
under the
no.
floor.
It's just the in the corner.
There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Geez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
What
You
would
have
that
accused me
case
of being
be?
the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
Yeah, why would you make a robot? That's basically just a human.
Enough with the flashlight.
Like
Way
a
too bright.
average or maybe below average human.
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko?
Actually, I wonder if the laws of robotics are going to end up coming into play at some point where Kibo literally physically can't harm
That
anyone.
was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
More likely he'll just die.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Well, too bad, because it's gonna be at least 2 more.
That'd let the culprit find her.
Probably
Then they
3,
could
though.
Stab her through the floorboards.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Yeah, it does.
Her corpse didn't have
Because
any
that was
trace
in
of
another
blood.
universe. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Underneath?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
No.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
Yeah, she spoke to us, yeah. Even after everything was up.
Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
I couldn't remember exactly when that was.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
And she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
What? When else?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Okay.
Huh?
You're very useful.
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now
Just
hurry up
because?
and think.
Just because, why not?
Make my golden brain tingle? Start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Alright then. Stone Iron Cage, white sheet, dog statue.
It wasn't during the seance.
How?
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage...
Wait, what did it say about the white sheet? There's blood on the back, around the middle of the sheet, but there's no hole in the fabric. Well, one of those, probably.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
No.
Like that.
When Cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tanko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
Oh god. Should I
Someone
have...
lifted the cage.
Should I have... not allowed this to
But
progress?
obviously, Himiko is the culprit.
There's no doubt!
I don't understand.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't.
No, because the sheet was still on when...
The cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
That's wrong!
I keep missing the V counter.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it.
Technically, we don't know it's our blood. No.
That
No,
cloth
don't
was
entertain that
removed
idea.
Before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
How many times have you been wrong?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
What?
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
Why are you arguing with us over this?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go
Does she just really want to be right? I guess that's it. Also, gameplay. Loose floorboard iron cage, sickle near the floor.
Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage. They stuck the thin blade through the gaps of the cage. And that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
But the
There was-
weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The
You already know
blade's
there was
all
no-
you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko, sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the and that's none other than Kyo! The blade's all you need.
Okay, hold on.
If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko, sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
Wait, no, that's not. I don't know why I even just did that.
Damn it!
Marker stone, probably.
Blade's all you need.
What did it say about the stone? Yeah.
If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
Wait, do I even have like a limited number of slashes?
I'll cut through your words.
Yeah, I don't think it's limited in this one,
Wait just
which
a
is
minute.
probably much better.
Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the
Because
cage.
it's funny because that just didn't matter at all until like the very last trial.
She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
It's just me, or is the frame rate on the
I messed
stream
up again? How could
not
this happen?
great?
I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Does the stream look choppy?
No worries.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
But
She
yeah,
couldn't have
it
been
probably
killed
should,
during
because
the
that thing
seance since
is,
she was in the cage, right?
OBS does not seem to be
If she
doing
was
too well
killed,
right
then
now.
The cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
It wasn't from
Yeah,
below the
For
floor?
a living person.
Huh?
Just smoothed out as I started. Okay, well.
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
Well, yeah, OBS is showing that it's
What are you talking
Well,
about? That's
that the
not
bit rate's
possible.
all over the place and not great.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but
So
not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
yeah, I don't know.
Stop that now.
I could restart it. I'm not gonna do that. I don't think that would help anyway.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Circumstances weren't impossible. Why are we saying that they weren't under the floor?
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that.
Wait, I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Port network connection detected. Oh, great.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
Maybe I'll have to restart
No.
it.
If there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
You saying it was Tenko?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
Tenko killed herself. Decide.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say?
Except, why though?
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
But why though?
Suicide?
Seems to be. No, I was gonna say it seems to be. Ooh!
Explain a lot of things we couldn't
Just
figure
saw
out.
the bit rate at sub
She
500,
volunteered to
and
be in the
that's
cage and then stabbed
not
herself
great.
during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Yeah, that is actually a good point.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So
Maki
she
getting
took off
blown the
the
fuck
floorboard
out.
to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
What?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But
Still doesn't
what if
really
she
make
was gonna
sense
kill
how she
herself?
would have
Why do it during the
killed
seance?
herself and had the thing under the
She wanted to
floorboards. I
hide the
believe they
truth of
tried to
suicide.
explain it, but wasn't she killed instantly?
Really? Why?
Actually, I don't know. They didn't say.
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Take us down?
No.
She wanted us to
No.
pick the wrong answer during the class trial. So she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
Saying Tenko is
Okay,
Nagito?
well, she probably
No.
just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
Some Nagito
What are
shit.
you saying? Tenko wasn't like that.
Okay,
She told me.
What if all of that was just a lie?
Okay. Yeah. This is getting out of hand. It's concerning me very much. So I'm going to take the stream down for a second and then try to fix this thing. So I'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere.